What's up, crypto fan? Big Rob here from Sin City Crypto. Michael Saylor is at it again. He has bought Bitcoin. He has pulled the trigger. Now, how much Bitcoin did Microstrategy scoop up this time around? Well, 12,333 Bitcoin for approximately $350 million. And this is now brought their average buy to $28,136, which means MicroStrategy is in the green. They're on to something. And they're in the profits. And total holdings for MicroStrategy is at 152,333 Bitcoin. And they are now holding 7.726%. So they're almost at a full percent. All right. So with that out of the way, that was a headline that happened this morning. But that out of the way, I did run across a video with Altcoin Daily, where Michael Saylor was discussing the BlackRock ETF, some of the economic challenges that Bitcoin and crypto industry has faced lately, and the impact of the ETF and how the sentiment in crypto and Bitcoin has changed. So in that interview, which you can find on Altcoin Daily's website, Saylor argued that wider adoption of Bitcoin by major institutions, not just early adopters, is what's happening to solve some of the economic problems. Now, there's always a great phrase out there, Bitcoin fixes that. Well, it's not only just a saying that has no value, but there are companies out there that are using Bitcoin to fix that. And institutions such as funds, investors, manufacturers, trucking companies, unions, cities, entire states, agencies, charities, universities, and churches are looking for adoption of Bitcoin, but they lack the infrastructure. They don't have the means to custody, or at least don't feel comfortable to do so. With this, the ETF and more well-known institutions and banks can offer a remedy to that. They can offer an avenue for a company that isn't quite Bitcoin savvy, or at least not comfortable doing so, to get exposure to Bitcoin in a safe and legal way, because the SEC has had such a wishy-washy stance on Bitcoin, and now this would solidify it. Look, it's a commodity, it's traded, you can buy it on Wall Street, and the biggest banks and the biggest institutions are supporting it. He did mention some banks like Deutsche Bank, Credit Agricole, and then he also was not 100% bullish on all of this. So in his video, he did cite that there has been a large amount of failed ETFs, or ones that got denied. There's been over 30 in total now, but there's also some positives as well that has been happening lately. You have the EDX exchange, which is backed by several Wall Street firms, including Fidelity. And there has been a change where there's been more of a political pressure to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF. And we've heard it in some of these hearings that Gary Gensler has testified lately. And he's kind of taken his hands off the steering wheel when it comes to Bitcoin, at least in his latest testimonies. And so it seems like he's going after altcoins. And so what a better time, if you're acknowledging that Bitcoin's in a commodity, let's get this thing done. And you can't really cite market instabilities if the largest asset manager in the world, BlackRock, is the one handling the ETF. I think you can safely say that they will not drop the ball on that. Now, institutions face challenges also in gaining Bitcoin exposures. And with these challenges is that, hey, SEC might sue you. So in this way, it's just a green light. And so we've talked about this over and over again. Now, with this, so I wrote down some notes here. I'm just going over from this video. So Saylor sees the following 4 milestones as crucial drive to mainstream adoption. One being the availability of the spot Bitcoin ETF, the recognition of Bitcoin as an asset class. So now you're not saying, hey, it's play money, it is this. it's an asset class at this time. Also, he cited the normalization of accounting through fair value accounting. And then he also reminded us about the Bitcoin halving. Now, the availability of a spot Bitcoin ETF. If you're kind of out of the loop here, this will be the ETFs in general. They do hold stocks, bonds, and commodities, and so in this case, Bitcoin, to track the value of the assets and give investors that are outside of the crypto world an opportunity to buy crypto without having to go down the Bitcoin rabbit hole and seed phrase. Now, the recognition of the Bitcoin as an asset class, I think, is something that we don't normally discuss. And currently there's been a debate, at least with regulators, policymakers, on what exactly Bitcoin is. Is it a currency? Is it an asset class? Is it a speculative investment? The recognition of Bitcoin as just an asset class could lead to the broader acceptance and regulatory clarity and making it more mainstream for investors and institutions. And we've said it over and over again. Let's get some clarity on what Bitcoin is, or at least what crypto is. Let's start with Bitcoin, and then from there, let's take the training wheels off and then work on some other ETFs, or clarifying what other cryptos are, like Ethereum. So at the end of this video, though, he did say that there was $1 million, that Bitcoin would go to $1 million, but in context, he's saying if it doesn't go to zero, eventually it'll hit $1 million. And I don't want to clickbait anybody, but I mean, I believe, and I think most of the Bitcoin people that are in crypto understand that with a long enough time horizon, Bitcoin will get to $1 million. Will it be within the next 4, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years? I think it's going to be later in the cycle. I don't think it'll get there quite within 4 years. I think it probably get there within 10, my personal opinion, but safe to say within 15 years, I think is a realistic, conservative, and good timeline. I do think that institutions, as we are alluding to now, are going to be fighting over Bitcoin. Nation states are going to be fighting over Bitcoin. Cities are going to be fighting over Bitcoin. States, unions, churches, all of that. So, well, if you guys haven't checked out our live show, we do Monday through Friday for a 1-hour live show. Me and David, not here in my house, in studio, Las Vegas, Nevada, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Come check us out. Till next time, Big Rob signing out. Peace.